Entrepreneurship's a roller coaster, from cultural highs to immigration struggles and community focused leadership.
uh, how do you say, like a safety blanket, any security. Like you're literally doing this shit on your own. And even though like I have my mentors and I'm super grateful for them, that is emotional and mental support. You still need, I think, entrepreneurship there. I'm in a time where I'm like writing a grant almost every night because the financial security isn't there because we don't come from a family with money, a family with means, or even a family with roots. Like I'm just establishing the roots here. And culturally, or just everyday life, the advantages of being first generation is the culture. I think that there's so much beauty in being a Latina and an Afro Latina, and I love that. The camaraderie in our culture, I think, has really helped me navigate my business and the way I do business because, like growing up, there was four families, four or five families that lived in one three-bedroom apartment. And all the other parents went to work and Lucy stayed home and took care of us. So that cooperative, like village mindset, I think has always been within me because of my cultural background. Um, and then obviously disadvantages, everyday life of being first generation is the bullshit that I've had to deal with in regards to like government agencies or just uh, even law enforcement, you know, being coming back to the States from Canada and them seeing that I'm a Vargas on my birth certificate and seeing that my place of birth was California and having to stay there for 3 hours because according to him, oh, you're from California and you're Mexican. You know how you guys are. You need to step over here. So just things like that that I think people don't think about, that I have to navigate from time to time. And it is really frustrating, but I'm 36 now, and some of that I've kind of sadly gotten accustomed to, and I don't necessarily let it bother me or stop me. But it is unfortunate. So, yeah.
It's like for immigration stuff going on right now. But what if you had the power? What would you change about it? Like how can the system be improved, so to speak?
I don't know. I feel like the fact that we have to have so many refugees and people influxed into this country is really the problem. Like, we complain about immigration and people coming here, but then you're also the same people are like, oh, we can't get involved. We can't get involved into the conflicts. And also the lack of knowledge of knowing how a lot of the times we're benefiting from these conflicts.
Yeah.
So if you're not willing to, I guess, navigate having to give up the benefits you get from all this atrocity happening, then you really shouldn't be having a say on how we're navigating all the atrocities that are happening because you didn't want to be involved in the first place. So it's just there's always like that balance between making reasonable calls in regards to like the legal aspects of immigration and also humanity, the humanity of it all. Like, how can you turn a blind eye? You know?
Yeah. Of course, a lot of people say no, there are no immigrants because bad people come over. I mean, obviously, bad people come over just based on stats, right?
Yep.
But if people come over, someone can be bad, right? But my
Right.
thing has always been, if someone came all the way from, I'll say Ecuador, right? Like
Yeah.
that shows a lot of great motivation, right? Isn't that the type of
Absolutely.
person you want in the United States?
Absolutely.
Like, yeah,
Yeah. There's actually a lot of research that shows the immeasurable benefit that having a lot of immigrants have had on this country.
yeah,
Their contributions to society, and that's also something that I feel like isn't talked about a lot. And it's like propaganda. Like, you want to talk about the negative, let's talk about the positive. Like, tell the story in its entirety, not just the things that you want to get people fired up about.
yeah, definitely. So, what does it mean to you to be a leader?
Um, to me, to be a leader means being accountable to your community. There been a lot of times where, decisions have had to be made. And as a leader, I fully believe that you're always going to make the decision that's going to benefit the most and not yourself. I think that the strongest show of leadership is leading through example, and leading through work. There's a lot of people who want to be in position of power without being willing to be a servant. And I don't think that you can be a good leader without serving the people that you lead. So,
And then I think this is your website. I found it somewhere. It says, and this is you talking. I'm most proud that I've built a purpose driven business.
mhm.
What does that mean to be a purpose driven business?
Uh, to me, it means that I've built something that is beyond me. It's not focused on me. It's focused on the community around me. The every part of my business, all our subsidiaries, has been created in order to serve a need in our community. And even the like private clients that I may have that are not community based, I have those clients in order to support the community work that we're doing.
And about how many clients do you have right now?
Um, so entities, maybe like three or four, meaning like larger businesses. And then private clients, same like three or four. And I suppose technically all the artists are my clients
Yeah.
because the work that I do on behalf of them, I don't charge them for. And there's like maybe 75 of them.
And
Yeah.
so, what's your max you can go? Like, can you have like 20 more clients, 30 more clients, or like what's your max?
I think the artists, there's not going to be a cap because a lot of those things are, uh, I guess, managed on a group effort.
Mhm.
So if we have a project, then I communicate to everybody at one time.
Okay.
As far as private clients, I don't, for myself, until I have a team built, I don't like to have more than like six things going on at a time. I feel like that's my capacity without having things fall through the cracks.
And how do you deal with a client that will say like kind of like too needy, right? They're like calling you every day, emailing you 27 times a day. Like, how you deal
Yeah.
with that?
So I have a business cell phone number, and when I do communicate with people, I make sure I let them know like this is my business cell. And if I don't answer, that means I'm not available. But my being a stay-at-home mom and my kids being on summer break, like currently I don't have summer or any work hours. It's just like whenever I get to y'all, I'll get to
Yeah.
y'all. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
And then also, I think so. I saw part of this more too, but it said like you learned how to do delayed gratification.
Oh
Talk
yeah.
about the process of you learning that.
Okay, so that's a funny story. I actually, before I started my business, maybe like a year or two before the BLM movement started, I had met a friend. Her name's Emily, and she invited me to this thing that I didn't know what it was, and it ended up being like one of those Amway um, multi-level marketing things. And although I realize like sales is not for me, like I'm not gonna ever convince someone that this skin cream is good for them and blah blah. Like I don't like to do that. It's weird. It feels weird. The things that I learned along the process and working within that business really were invaluable. Their mentorship that they have set up within the Amway business is absolutely incredible. And honestly, like I consider staying on just for the people, just for the mentorship, just for the business lessons that you were able to learn and how they taught you. And I learned a lot through the reading that they recommended, John Maxwell. And if you've never read The Go Giver and you're an entrepreneur, like that is an excellent book